Okay, it took me a little while, but I found my brass brads. These are just regular paper fasteners. You can get these online, you know, all over the place. And as well, you can still find them in the office stores. They're still kind of bright and shiny when you get them, but just there's methods to make them not so shiny. I just have old ones. Something I also wanted to do was run a little bit of ink along the edge of the paper so you don't see the white core from the photo paper. So I'm just doing that now. And I started to cut these brads because they're really long. They have really long prongs. So I started to cut them, but I realized it would be so much easier to put them through the hole first before you cut them. And then you don't have to try to feed them through when they're little, as I'm doing right now. Because I was going to have 3 of them done, but then I realized I hadn't inked this yet. Now, this is another reason why you don't want to okay, I'll save that one for another one. I'm going to use the full length ones first. Put that through the hole and then open it up. Easier said than done, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I've got it opened up, but now what I'm going to do is lift it and just cut those prongs so they're not so long. And I'm just using a pair of wire snips to do that. It's pretty easy. And then I'm just going to take my pliers, and I'm going to make sure I've got my pliers on the needle nose pliers on the brad itself while I bend this forward so I don't scratch up the paper. And just pressing it into place. So that's pretty secure on there. It's just for decoration, but boy, does that ever look cute. So I'm going to repeat the process. Now, this was the one that was a little close to the edge. And this is the part that will probably take the longest in doing this whole thing. Now you want the back side of the brad to sit really flat because you don't want to cause any extra bulk that you can see the back of the picture. So I'm just going to take this pliers and flatten that out a little bit. Okay, that worked good. And then taking my wire cutters, I'm just cutting these off. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I never know if I should zoom in closer or if you can see. I'll just bring it up to you a little bit closer so you can see how I've broken them off. And just taking my pliers, but making sure that I'm on the head of the brad so that it doesn't scratch the photo. I'm just bending them into place a little bit. Kind of using my fingers and the pliers at the same time. Okay, 2 more times. Sorry, I know it's painful, but there's no other way to show you unless I stop again. And I'm just going to open those prongs. Oh, yay, this one's fast. And I'm just going to push that down. It's actually surprisingly pretty easy to use the needle nose pliers to push it down. And I'm doing how many of these things? Ooh, I don't know how many I'll do on camera, but it's like watching paint dry, isn't it? Okay, one more. We're almost there. Okay, just got to open this one up. It would help if I had fingernails. Like, I always keep my fingernails pretty short. I don't like having stuff underneath them. I never paint my fingernails, maybe once a year. And though I love making jewelry, I never wear it. I have one wedding ring on. And my watch, and it's kind of my watch and Fitbit. Although I don't think it really works as a Fitbit. It really works more as a watch. For me, anyway. Yeah, I just get annoyed when I find out how little steps I've done in a day. So I don't really like to look at that part. Okay, so we've got these on. That one's a little bit wonky. Maybe I have to fix it this way a little bit. I might have pressed sometimes I guess it would be easy to press these too far, is what I've done here. Okay, how are we doing so far? All right, so I kind of wanted this to cover the whole chipboard. And then putting that, oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, that's cute. Now I'm going to want to make holes in this, so I have to bring this down far enough to the end of the cardboard, the chipboard. Oh, I'm going to so get a lot of these. Oh, how fitting. North Pole Brewing Company on the one side, and then on the other side I have your Moose Light. How fitting is that? Okay, so I'm going to take my white glue. And I'm going to drizzle it back and forth on here, because I want to glue down the fabric. And I'm not too worried about it seeping through because it's really not much that's going to show, but I will spread it out with my finger and just spread the glue out enough that it's tacky, but not enough to seep through. And tacky glue is pretty good. I don't usually find that it seeps through very much unless it's really light fabrics. Okay, so once I have that done, I'm just going to lay this on top and spread it out, making sure. Now I got it a little bit short here, but it's still pretty good. The main thing is that it covers the chipboard. Okay, I'm going to just wipe that there. Okay. And I'm going to take my glue cap. I have a spare one here on the table, and I'm just going to press that down. Now my thought is that maybe I should put the holes in this for the wire first, which is what I'm going to do. And I will be, yeah, see, I've come a little short on that end, so I think next time I will cut it a little bit bigger and then cut it back after I've glued it down. So there's room for improvement on this, but that's why it's the first one. And then I'm going to take my crocodile, and I'm going to make a larger hole. Oh, I don't really need to. I can make a smaller hole. I don't need a big hole on this. And I'm putting it about, maybe 1/4 of an inch in. And this is going to be where my hanger sits. And same with this one, about 1/4 of an inch in. And then this way, when I go to put this piece on here, I know where the holes are, so I can come down just a little bit lower and then center it on this fabric as well. Oh, this is going to be so cute. Now, I had originally said to make coasters with these. If you were to make coasters, I would recommend that you laminate this on both sides first and then glue it down to your coaster, because these would be awesome coasters for hot chocolate, or for at the bar and stuff at Christmas time, because the North Pole Brewing Company is perfect. So keep that in mind if you're going to make them, that to laminate them first. Laminators are very inexpensive. You can pick them up at Walmart or your local office stores, and then the laminating sheets go a long way. You could probably do a whole sheet of these, maybe 6 or 8 in one plastic sleeve. So that would be how I would use these for coasters. But then another thing that I was thinking about with the smaller ones is they would be nice to make little hangers to hang on wine bottles. If you were giving a gift as a wine bottle, they would be great tree ornaments, gift tags, little things that you can attach to your present as a little ornament with the present. So lots of options there. So these little brads are not going anywhere, and I really don't mind if it sticks up a little bit. It's not going to be very much that it sticks up, but I'm going to use a combination of my white glue in the center, just drizzling a little bit into the center. And then I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue on the outside. And that's just so I know it's going to catch instantly, so that while we're playing with it, I don't have to worry about it not being in place. The other alternative, of course, would be to glue these down and then wait, but we don't have time. I got a million of these to make, right? Caroline, I love these. I so love these. I can't wait to make more. So I'm just going to place that down like that. And so the hot glue around the outside edges will hold this on here now. I know it's not going to come off. And the white glue in the center is just to secure the paper, so it's not going to be boing, 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 lifting against the project. So I think that's looking pretty good already. And now I have those brads not brads, the jump rings on the table here. Now I have the hole in here, and I'm going to put the jump ring through because I want the wire hanger to sit flat. If I didn't, I would just put the wire hanger right through the holes, and then it would come up in front, which you'll see what I mean. But I want it to lie flat so it could be folded. You could send this in a mail, like Happy Mail, or you could send it as a little gift in the mail, because for the most part it's paper and it's not that heavy and it's flat, so it will go through the mail quite easily. So now these are larger jump rings. I had actually planned it for the larger ones more so than this one, but I think it'll be fine for this. I could go smaller maybe. And I have a second set of pliers here buried in this pile to close my jump ring. And now you probably can't see it that much because it's against the colors. But I put the jump ring on here. And when you open and close jump rings, now these are pretty soft ones, so I'm able to open them with my fingers. I just got to find the end. There we go. But when you open a jump ring, you don't open it this way. You don't pull it open. You open it back and forth so that when you go to line it up afterwards, it hasn't been pulled away from itself. So it's still lined up. It's just open. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see. If not, there are lots of people who show how to use jump rings. That's, in the jewelry business, how to use them. And when I close it, I always listen. There's like a little click noise, and then your jump ring is lined up. You probably won't hear it from here, but so jump rings are in. And now I'm going to take this wire And I want the hanger to be, you know, about like not quite the same height as the, a little bit smaller than the height of my project. So I think about there. And I want a little bit of wire to play with to make some curly things. So I'm gonna, I don't know how, you just have to kind of play with it. Now this is called rebar wire, and you can buy it at your Home Depot type stores, Lowe's, you know, all those kinds of places. Kent, if you're in New Brunswick or in the Maritimes. So that's kind of where I want it to sit. Does that, I just work off the roll approximately and hope for the best, if that makes sense. So if that's where I want it to sit, I have about maybe 2 inches longer on either side. So I'm just going to take my needle nose pliers and I'm going to bend it up so that it looks almost like a bobby pin would look, right? Doing the same thing on this side. And you can shape it even further. So it's like that. And I'm going to slide this into both of the jump rings. You can do one at a time. I just do both. So now it's sitting flat the way it is right now. And I'm going to take these wires, the bobby pin wire, that's what I'm calling it for now. And I'm just going to start at the end with my pliers and just slowly twist and curl. And I don't worry if they're a perfect match. You know, the idea is just to get rid of the sharp edges, make it look a little bit more finished. And you can create all kinds of wavy things in your wire, and I'll do that on one of the other ones to show you. It is hard wire. You can get a similar type of wire at, I know that it's available at the dollar stores in Canada. It's kind of a silver color, and it's very similar to this. And so you can use that. You can also paint your wires to match certain colors if you want, or you could wrap them with other things. It doesn't have to be wire. It could be rope, ribbon, anything that you want to tie with. I just want the sort of the old look, right? The old-fashioned look. So this will give you some ideas of making other signs too. But, you know, Caroline's already done the work for us by making these beautiful signs. And I told her a few ideas that I would love to see her make. So hopefully she'll come up with a few others for spring and fall. Caroline, no pressure, right? But I love these. So now I've just pushed them in a little bit. You could actually even push them in further so that you know that it's not going to come undone. But there is a cute little wire that folds back so you can easily slip this into an envelope or even as a journal card. This would actually be cute as a topper on a journal or a topper on maybe a folio or something. Oh, there's so many little ideas here. And I just happen to have some of the scraps from when I started putting this together. And it was just a leftover piece here. So I think it's a little too wide for what I want. But I'm just going to bring it down a little bit in size. And pull a couple of threads just so it looks a little bit more frayed. And scrunch it up a little bit. I just take my fingernail and just run it back and forth. And you can just tie a little tie on it. Or a bow. I'm just going to tie a knot. And you can create this primitive kind of hanger with a tie. It could be rope, it could be raffia ribbon, it could be, you know, some little silk cord, whatever you have, but you can just make a little hanger for it and you're good to go. Isn't that cute? you saw how easy it was. Very simple. Let's do another one. I'm going to do one big one online while I have these book pages, or this book cover. I'm going to take one of these. Now, I have the spine of the book, and I have a lot of book covers because I go through a lot of books. So I don't feel any pain to cut off this spine, and I will use it. Believe it or not, I will use it. So eventually, when I do the other side here, I will tear this off, and this will get used in something. Put that aside. And I like this shabby look. Not everybody does, but I like it. I'm just going to take my scissors and run it along here just to get it a little bit more shabby looking. Paper will fly. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way. I guess I should choose one, right? Which one are we going to use? Do I want to go that way? Let's go this way. Baby, it's cold outside. I'm going to use that one. Get this out of the way. And I'm doing the exact same procedure, but I just think it would be so cute to have this on a book cover. The book cover is right here, so you can write something onto it. So our first process was to cut a piece of fabric. Now you might have other prints that you might want to use. And in this case, because I want to show off this green, I'm going to try to make it just a little bit smaller. So maybe it will be just enough to go around the picture, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to cut it. Hope you can see me doing this. Am I too far here? I'm going to cut it on this red line here. And I'm going to cut it about there. Okay, we'll tear it. Okay, that was not too painful. And I'm going to fray the edges. And then we'll just see how the picture looks. So now that we have a plan, it sure goes a little bit faster once we know what we're doing. I hope you like these things. I hope Caroline likes what I'm doing with her project. I told her I couldn't wait because she's going away for a 4-day scrapbooking event weekend, and she was getting this kit out, and I said, I can't wait till you come back to play with it. I have to play with it now. And so she said, okay. And so I told her I was going to do this, so hopefully she gets to watch it either just before she goes. I think she's leaving tomorrow, so maybe she'll get to see it tonight. Okay, so it's a little bit smaller, so you can see the green. And there's the picture, but I think I'm gonna trim it down a little bit more. What do you think? I know, I can't really tell me, but I'm gonna trim it down. Yeah, I like that framing there. So if I take this red line off, now that one I'm just going to cut so we don't run into any problems. Oh, look at that instant tie. I didn't plan that. Okay, so there it fits pretty nice. You can see more of the green. I'm going to fray a little bit more of this edge. So now I don't have to worry about covering the to the end of the board. So yeah, if you have some book board, you can make other signs, not just these ones, but you can make all kinds of fun signs. And collage art, of course. You can do a little collage and then put it down on something like this and create a sign with it. That's not bad at all, huh? Because this will lift up a little bit as well. Okay, so first step was to ink this down a little bit by running my ink pad over top. And this one's getting where it's not so juicy. I could take my little brush and brush it out, but this is just as easy. Okay, and then I'm going to take my other ink pad that I have here and ink up the edges so that you don't see the white core. All right. And now I'm going to I'm actually going to set this thing so that it's got an exact measurement all the way around, because you can set them. I just usually just leave it and wing it every time. See, there's a little piece of cardboard stuck in there. Okay, good to go. So now, hopefully I've put this in the right spot, and I'm just going to go around and do the 4 holes. Yep, that looks pretty good. Moment of silence again. So you see how fast this can go when you have a plan and when you're mask making. Although like I said, I'm only going to do the 2 online for now. Maybe a little bit further. And then I will do the rest off camera. I thought I would do more, but it's, you know, it takes time to do all this. Now I'd like to try using these. I think the burgundy ones would be nice, or maybe the brown. Brown or green? No, brown. Brown it is. Okay, now these ones are not that long, so maybe we can, well, we still have to trim off one, I think, because it shows through on this side. Just a tiny little bit it shows through, so I'm going to just cut the one off, or cut it down at least. Okay, and these are a little bit softer than the brass ones, so they don't have to be pushed down with the pliers so much. And the other thing is these ones have a short end and a long end, so it's easier to open them up. But now I will take that off. And 2 more times. I think this is going to be the first time in history ever that I've done a Christmas project 2 months before Christmas. Actually, more than 2 months before Christmas. I'm usually doing Christmas at the very end. So it has never worked for me personally. And I'm pretty sure I'll be doing Christmas journals in January or February. Okay, those are all on. That looks pretty good so far. Let's glue the fabric down. Now again, this doesn't have to be perfect because for the most part you're not going to even see this. I don't even think I'm going to worry about smoothing it out. I'm just going to lay this down and spread it out with my finger. I probably could even do this with the hot glue gun now that I think about it. Okay, and it would be the idea that this would stick up just a little bit, and I think it will once we once I get these completely finished and dry. Then I can play around with the edges and maybe even pull a few more threads once it's dry. Okay, glue out of the way. Cap on, Kim. All right, and so we know sort of where it's going to sit on here. Isn't that just the cutest thing? This would make such a beautiful book cover. Oh my goodness. Caroline, you really are onto something with these. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I kind of know that my holes should probably go on the outside edges here, which is fine. It won't have any interference with the sign itself, but I'm going to do the holes first, just because. And since I have it set, I can just follow the same, maybe, the same area here. Now this is a little harder to do because it is a book board, but that went through pretty good. There it is right there. You can see it on this side. And so I'm going to do the same thing over here. There were some sound effects there. Isn't that awesome? Okay, now a little bit of glue again underneath there. Just to fix up that little corner a bit without going over. Oh my goodness, I just love these. I just love, love, love these. Now you could have things dangling from the bottom as well. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to, but I could see lots of possibilities. Maybe I'm going to push this up a little bit and do that after. I'll do it after off camera. And I think also, like I've moved it up here to the top a little higher. It doesn't interfere with the holes. So I may trim this and then fray it a little bit more because it's not perfectly glued right to the edges, so it should be fine to pull it off. I'll do that off camera, and I may play around after the camera's off and put something on here. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so I'm going to take the white glue first and just spread it out for the most part through the middle of the sign on the paper. And then taking the hot glue, just go around the edges. Ooh, made it all the way. Okay. Higher and centered, and hope for the best, because once it's down there, that's it. Okay, I got a little bit of a glue string there. Whew, on camera, pretty good. Okay, so I just got to get rid of that glue and press this down a little bit more. Look at that. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. Okay, holes and wire. So I need a couple of jump rings. Mass produced. Who mass produces all that stuff? How do they do it? I can barely do 2. I can't even imagine how long this video is. And some people mass produce 10 things. I just watched Cindy from Studio Lou, and she made 10 pieces. No, I think she made more like 12 or 13 pieces in her allotted time. Now these are very soft jump rings, so I'm able to push them just with my fingers. some jump rings you can't do that. Okay. Some of them you need 2 pairs of pliers to do it. If you haven't watched Cindy from Studio Lou, you really have to watch her. She does a project called Tuesday 10 Tuesday 10, I think. And I'm giving her a little shout out, so I'll be sure to put her link in this video so you can see it. I think, yeah, she's on my videos, my thrifty videos, because she's Canadian. She does Thrifty Canucks with us. But I will put a link to her channel so you can go see her Tuesday 10, and she takes 10 things. It's similar to what Darcy from Darcy's Mixed Media does with her scrap shoot, but she picks Cindy picks 10 items. I think Darcy does it with her eyes closed, and she uses a set of dice. Okay, so same thing. I'm just kind of bringing this. I mean, you can do all kinds of fancy things with your wire, but this, I'm just kind of thinking about where I want it to be. I don't want it to be super long in this case. And I think it'll be like that. So I think if I take another 2 inches-ish, 2 inches-ish. I don't measure, you know that. I just hope for the best, and then I, if it doesn't work out, I would use this on another one. Okay, so I'm starting off a little bit smaller, and I will bend it into a better shape once I know what I'm doing with it. And so about 2 inches up. And then sliding it through the jump ring on either side. Now this kit is very reasonable. I want to say it's $3 or maybe it's $4. I don't know. It's not very much for the amount of stuff that you get in the kit. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so I have these lists on here, and this comes from Caroline's Craft Tree, and her link is always on my videos. Her and I put links to each other's channels because we inspire each other, and it's all about working together. And she makes digitals, I make digitals. She does YouTube videos, so do I, and we don't, we share the experience together, and that's what this is about, so that you get double. Because not only do I show you videos of what I do, I show you things to do with what Caroline has, or I tell you stuff that she's made, because that's what it's supposed to be about, sharing with everyone. Okay, taking my pliers and just rolling the wire down. And I know I'm making this look easy. It is easy. It's just that the wire is hard, and it will take some practice to put it together. You do have to watch if you're working with very thin items that you don't rip through your papers. So do take some time to practice, and maybe work with, thicker cardstock like this, or chipboard, so that you don't rip your project. And again, I'm just making these reasonably flat. So you see they're not perfectly a match, but they're close enough. And if somebody's going to scrutinize on that, oh well, right? Oh well. So now this is reasonably matchy, good enough. And it will fold back. Look, you can put this in the mail. What a great little gift to send to somebody for Christmas. Instead of sending a Christmas card, you can send them something that they can keep and put out every year for Christmas. I just love it. Just love it. Caroline, I'm so excited about these. So again, I've got that piece of fabric that was left over. I'm just going to tie it along the side here. I could add some jingle bells. I could add beads, all kinds of fancy trims. I might play with along the bottom here, as I was saying, but I think for the next little while after this video is done, I'm just going to finish off the ones that I made, and I'll be able to show you them all tomorrow. So there you go. I did 2 of them, and they are so cute. Get all that stuff out of the way. Tomorrow I'll show you a much better picture of these, but they are so cute. Caroline, what a fun project you've given us. I hope some of you will go to her channel and purchase this kit. It's an amazing kit. Like I said, you get, I think it's 10 different pages of different designs. Some are small and large, the same design, but there's quite a bit to choose from. And if you made even one kit, do it on the, if you can, do it on the glossy paper, because it just gives you more of a metal look to it. I don't know if you can see the sheen in there, what it's doing. But just so simple to put these together. The rebar wire, like I said, you can pick this up at your local big hardware stores. And the other things were just chipboard. You saw this is just a moose light sign. What I'm going to do here is probably put a piece of paper on the back side of this to cover that up, but it's not the end of the world. And you know, it could be used for writing or sentiments or whatever you want to put on there. And you know, next time around I would have trimmed this a little bit better, but this was the first one, so you know, that's where we learn and make mistakes. And, you know, I've put these paper fasteners and brads, but you could use eyelets, you could use buttons. You can make faux ones by you know, stitching a bead or a button on there. So there's lots of alternative options. As far as the fabric, take apart an old raggy tea towel, stain it with some coffee, and you'll have the same effect. You can ink stamp on it and do all kinds of things to it just to make it look really weathered and distressed looking. And then jump rings, you know where to get jump rings. A pretty easy project. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this. That's it. That's all for today. I'm going to sit now and play for the rest of the afternoon. Today is Thursday. I will not have a Thrifty Canucks until Saturday, probably, only because I had a little bit of a backup here. So I want to get this done and play with this. I'm so glad I did. And tomorrow is my follow-up Friday. I will be doing showcasing some new digitals tomorrow. Some I'm not sure if you like or not, but there are some other ones. And then I'll be showing you a few of the things that I've done this week as well. I have a couple of shout outs and some fun stories to tell you of what's gone on this week. And I'm going to start our very first challenge in both the Crafting with Eyes Wide Open Facebook group and the Boho Artisans group. You will get the same challenge with the idea that you'll do your thing based on the Facebook group that you're in. Now, if you're in both groups, you can certainly do 2 different things if you like. I don't want to really cross them over. If you've shown them in here, I don't want you to show them over there. But either way, everyone is a winner if you participate. So I will give you all the specs on that tomorrow, plus it will be going up on the Facebook group. Also in coffee, I've started to slowly move some of my products over to the coffee site as far as my website items. So if you are a member on coffee, you probably got notification that I had uploaded some different fibers that are for sale in my coffee site. I am eventually going to be taking my whole website and moving it over to coffee and just having the one site. So you will see new products, and as I do it, I will add more to it. So you will see new things as we go along, and eventually it will all be in one place. Anyway, that's it for today. I could carry on and on and on. So I will see you tomorrow for Friday follow-up, and have yourself a very creative evening. Bye for now.